All right, just so that you guys know, full disclaimer up front, I've got a camera running. I'm going to try to record all of the lectures we do, partly because I'm trying lots of different teaching techniques for which I can't find any documentation of someone actually doing the dang things, which everyone who's trying them out for the first time would love to see just the pacing and actually watch it in action. So even if I do terribly, people ripping me apart in comments on it will make it useful for other people. And then there might be some use to it in general, just having videos of the class for ourselves to look back at. Plus, we're going to do a lot of demonstrations, and I can show this to all the other professors here to say, this is how you really ought to do this demo, or more likely say, absolutely don't do it this way, it was a disaster, and you can see. So there's a camera running. If you've got a problem with that of some sort, let me know. It's right up here. I don't know if it's always going to be there, probably because crawling on desks is fun. This class is not like any of the other classes you have taken. If I'm wrong about that, you're awesome and you're lucky. If I'm right about that, I'm trying to drive the point home today. We're not talking about your syllabus. Yes, there is one. Yes, it's on BB Learn. Yes, you can look it over. Yes, you'll probably have some questions. If you're completely technologically illiterate, I printed out 25 of them up here because some people still like to kill trees. So you can get your syllabus. You can talk with me. We can work out things. Most of this I'm going to rant about on Friday when we'll actually go over the syllabus, because there's some university requirements that I have to actually go over the thing. But you are in a science class. Many of you are not strictly a science major. The problem is all of you are in a major where you do think. Thinking is science. Science is just structured thinking. So all of you are completely capable of doing science. Does anyone want to venture why I can safely say every single one of you can do science? What is an experiment I know every one of you has done? Well, someone could have wandered in off the street. I don't know for sure everyone in this room has passed a math class. I would like to think so.
We found the class.
You found the class? Hey, that's pretty decent. Basic everyday problem solving. How far back does that go? If you say every day, do you really mean every day? When you stay at home in your pajamas, lounging around, you barely get out of TV, you're able to find a remote or a device to run Netflix. Is it still problem solving that day? Okay, let's go back further. You are just born. This is the day you're born, your actual birthday. Is there problem solving that day?
Yeah.
You guys can all walk and talk. I am assuming, again, this is assuming, I can't say for sure, none of you are wearing diapers. That's science experiments you have proceeded to go through with absolutely no training. You learned language with nobody telling you how to do language. You learned how to not fall and break your nose. You learned how to move your arms. You did not have a manual for any of these. You did not have a teacher for any of these. All of these are things that you learned. Learning happens all the time. Right now, you guys are learning. I'm not distracting you. Those of you who are watching the ball are learning something. And that is what we are going to talk about. So, I need 3 people. You, since you're chewing gum, and why not? That's good of a reason as any. Not you because you rose your hand. We're going to yell things out in this class. You because you laughed, and you because you're trying really hard not to be noticed. So you 3 come up here and grab a black marker and a section of whiteboard. So there's a black marker for you over there. Now, I am terrible with names. Normally, I use that as an excuse, and I say, haha, so I'm not going to learn your names at all. But I'm going to actually make an effort, because the whole it's your name, it's you thing. So, what's your name?
Ryan.
Ryan, okay. Arizona.
Ryan.
Oh, I meant to do that. No. Okay, so my life just got 1/3 easier. All right, so Ryan's and Arizona are going to be writing on the board. It doesn't matter if you guys write the same thing. I just want utter and complete chaos. So whatever you do here, let's go for. The rest of you, this is the Price is Right. The last guy's trying to say if they should do $1 over or just $1. You're trying to get your voice heard. Once the thing you're saying is up here, preferably start saying something different, not be quiet. Okay? I want chaos. I want cacophony. You guys are also going to be watching the ball. You guys are going to be overworked today by far. Whatever you observe, say it and get it up on the board. Just watch and yell.
Tacos.
About the ball. You.
Bouncy.
There we go. Keep going.
White.
Touchdown.
Catching.
Gravity.
Spin. Bounce. Noise.
Hanging.
Wall. Rock.
You don't have to stick to single words. What was that one?
My academic work, I don't know how to translate it in English.
Okay.
Autonomous.
Autonomous. So it moves on its own? Okay.
Rubber.
Friction.
Go ahead and make them actual observations if you want to. Say something about it. With like a full sentence if you need to. Confusion is good.
Probably made in China.
All right, so we've got a decent list now. So, yours is nicely ordered over here, Ryan on my right. So I'm going to take over your ordered mine, and Arizona and Ryan on my left can go away. Thank you very much. Now, we are going to quantify some of these. And I'm going to use you because I'm trying to get in the habit of using people. So, actually, let's go red and green. Is anybody red-green colorblind? How about red-blue? Will that work?
Red-blue works.
Anybody red-blue colorblind? Okay, red and blue. All right, so let's qualify what some of these observations are. Are they something incidental? Is it just something about the ball, no matter what? Or are they something variable, something that we can have an influence over, something that is different from one moment to another? So let's go through on all of these, and I'm going to have us using clickers, and we can do things that way, but for now, I don't want to get into all of that setup stuff. So look at the syllabus, set up top hat, we'll talk about it later. For now, we'll just kind of do a hands up, hands down, and you'll just go off the majority, and then I'll override you where I think that you're wrong because I'm pretending to be an expert. So let's just go through the list and decide. Is it something that changes? Now the very first one, bounces. Is this incidental? Is it just something about the ball? Or is it something that there's some play with? Is it different from time to time? Incidental. Okay, something that changes time to time. And be loud and proud. There is no wrong. There's just tests that we can do. All right, so let's go ahead and mark that as something that changes. Up, down. Incidental? Doesn't make sense? All right, let's you go ahead and use the green and put a little mark on the side of things that we pass. So incidental, something changes. Abstain. Okay, so something changes. Spherical. Incidental. Something changes. Okay, incidental. Spins. Incidental? Changes. Okay? Noise. Incidental? Changes. Okay? Down. Incidental? Changes. Okay? Wall. Not really about the ball. We're going to skip that one.
I heard rock. I don't know if that's right.
Okay, we heard rock. Incidental? Something changes? Even if something's wrong, it can still be incidental. Incidental? Something changes. Abstain. Okay, so that one's we're going to abstain. Gravity. Incidental? Something changes. All right, we're going to have hands up higher because I can't quite call it on that one. And quick check for abstain. All right, so incidental. Something changes. Okay, so we're going to go with incidental and gravity. I think some people change their mind. I'm not trying to get you to change your mind. I'm just trying to actually get things up here. Ground. Incidental. Changes. Abstain. All right, so that looks like it was, I already space cased it. Sorry. Were you paying attention?
Incidental.
Okay. Moves on its own. Autonomous. Incidental. Changes. Okay. Rubber. Incidental. Changes. Okay. Friction. Incidental. Changes. All right. White. Incidental. Changes. Lacrosse. Incidental. Changes. Abstain. So for you guys, you don't know what lacrosse is, I'm guessing. Go ahead and mark it incidental. It's a sport. That's the kind of ball it is. Confusion. Incidental. Something that changes. Good God, I hope it changes in the course of this. Preferably for the lesser. Made in China. Incidental. Changes. All right, we're leaning towards incidental. And amusing. Incidental. Changes. Probably most of you will not be amused by the end of this. All right, so what's actually different here? We got across, which is possibly mishearing lacrosse. Bounces, gravity, white, noise, moves on its own, ground. Banging, is that different from sound? I'm just not sure on that one. Should we throw it over there?
Banging is
No.
sound, but sound is not banging, I guess. That could...
Okay. Still don't understand why he's bouncing the ball. Does that count for confusion, or should we not? Throw it over?
Yeah.
All right, throw it over. So still don't understand why he's bouncing the ball. Incidental? Something that changes? Oh, you guys think I'm actually going to tell you? All right, so let's just go ahead and mark it over here, and I'll wipe out the things that we are ignoring. Friction wall made in China. I have no idea what I'm doing. Commentary, I like it. I did say they were supposed to contribute. I didn't say it had to be out loud. Rubber, gravity, mass. I still don't understand why he's bouncing the ball. So we've got some connection there. And circle. Did we have sphere over there? Okay. All right, so we're going to call all of those good. I know I'm getting rid of the humor, but I'm just moving on. By the way, I don't do good at watching time, so if you ever have to yell at me, yell at me. I will try to actually watch time. Okay, so now we've got tick marks for incidental or changes. Now, who wants to venture what it means for something to be testable? Someone volunteer an idea of a definition. It's just your personal definition, so it's by definition not wrong. So if I say something is testable, what are you going to say?
Property or trait which...
Okay, someone's trying to be science. half of you are saying, that means it's going to be on the exam. That's not the kind of testable I mean. So, simpler language.
If it's something that changes, you can test it because it can change.
Okay, how many people are cool with that definition? If it's something that changes, you can test it. And how many have reasons, even if you don't know what they are, for not liking that? It could just be because he's sitting in the corner. I don't care. Okay, so most people are not venturing an opinion at all, and that's okay because now I'm actually eliciting you thinking, and oh my god, that's so scary. But you're going to be disavowed of that fear by the end of this semester, or you're going to drop my class. Either way, I mean, if I've got 3 of you at the end, then I just bribe you to give me good reviews and we're set. Okay, someone else, venture a definition. Or if you've simplified your wording, go for it. I didn't totally mean to cut you off, and if that is the way you speak, then I deeply apologize and you're awesome. But, simple language.
Give me a minute.
Okay,
A way to disprove or prove something.
you can prove it or disprove it. Okay? Right, wrong, and then what? Again and again. Repeatably prove one way or the other. Okay? Are you still working on a new?
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll keep going. Anyone else, work it out on your own. You can write on paper if it helps you to organize your thoughts. Yes, you'll be put on the spot. You can know what? You can write it on paper. You can slide it to your neighbor. And if someone slides you a piece of paper, no matter what it says, you have to say it out loud, even if it's wildly inappropriate and you're going to be caught on video for all time and your mother's going to see it.
For something to be testable, yes, we have to be controlled. So if it's changing, you have to be able to control the change.
Okay, in order to be testable, we have to be able to control the change. And I totally forgot to be checking, do people agree with or disagree with? Sorry. So we're going to work backwards and see if I actually remember everything. In order to be testable, it has to be something you can control how it changes. People agree with that, think it's decent, it's on the right track even. It doesn't have to be the whole thing. Okay, and people have reasons against it, even if you don't know what those are, even if it's just an incidental reason against it. Okay, so we've got a leaning toward, but not a hefty one. All right, back here it can be proven right or wrong, and you can prove it the same way repeatably. People like that, it's on the right lines. People don't like it for whatever random. Okay, we've got a bit more of a weight towards we're liking that. And then we had up here, I can't remember it at all.
Or is this a way to disprove or prove something?
Can be proven or disproven. Like it, it's on the right lines. And reasons against. Okay, so those two, they were pretty similar. The voting came out fairly similar for them. It looked like there was a bit more lean towards repeatable, which is promising, because that's personal, my preference, but that's because I'm looking at scientific testing, and I didn't stress that. I just said testable. So are we still working on, or have you abandoned, or you want to go back to the sciencey one? That's fine.
I often end up doing that. I had a word like that, so nah, probably good.
Okay. All right, so communal consensus roughly towards these two. Now we're going to practice something that we're going to be doing a lot, so deal with it. I want you guys talking with someone close to you. You must talk with them, and it must be about this, at least briefly at the start. You guys, not only do you need to come to an answer you both agree on, but you have to know why the other one agrees with this answer. So you could both turn to each other and say, let's say it at the same time, and you give a verbatim repeat of one of those two definitions. And then you go, awesome, you high five, you're done, and now you start talking about whatever was on TV last night or someone that fell in the hall outside just before class. You will have failed this goal. I want you to talk about why you think that. Now, it doesn't really pertain here, but a big theme of when we're talking about this is you're trying to trace your own reasoning back to what's called the appeal to authority. That point where you have to say, because someone told me so. that is the point where you can't go back any further. There's no underlying justification unless you just start talking about why that person is great and almighty and you trust what they say. As soon as you say, because someone told me so, and we're in a science class, which is about science, so if you get back to the point where you say, because my science teacher told me so, then that feels like it's a great and wonderful thing. And I'm not saying if the appeal to authority at any point is good or bad. I'm saying just having the same answer as the guy you're talking to is not enough. Trace the reason for that answer back to the appeal to authority. That's a little bit weird here. Your authority might be, she said so, lots of people voted for it. If that's as far as your line of reasoning goes, okay, you trace back all the way. Right now we're just practicing techniques we're going to be using a lot during the semester. Look for the appeal to authority, not just in your reasoning, but in theirs. Because a lot of you are going, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, how do I do this to myself? And you're planning on making the other guy go first. And that's because it's really hard in our own minds to find that appeal to authority. We try to stick to the surface level of our thoughts, because that's easy. Well, this is a 100 level class. It's supposed to be easy. I just don't listen to directions. So, grab someone. Talk to them. Definition of testable. And remember, I dropped that hint of I didn't say scientifically testable. Just define between the two of you, given that there was a rough class consensus towards these two, you don't have to go that way, between the two of you, an idea of testable. And follow your reasoning back. And you can go jump in on a group. Thank you very much, Ryan. All right, you guys have a lurker? You get in there. Talk. Okay, just making sure. You guys talked? You went all the way back to your appeal to authority? You guys didn't cop out? You had a deep personal introspection. This was a journey of a lifetime. You're in tears now. You just already got done with Kleenex. Okay. Did you get looped in? You joined a conversation? Okay, and you went all the way back. You understand exactly what your personal reasoning was? And you agree with the other people? You guys all came to a consensus. And who did you actually work with? I'm waving at them, but I have no idea. No, you can't do that. Okay, join a group. They already came to a consensus by the looks of it, so get over there and talk to them. Tell them why you're right and they are completely and totally wrong and you're never going to speak to them again. You talk? Okay. Did you get him? Chat with the people in front of you. Or just grab someone that already worked in another group. Talk with somebody. I've got a couple people that are ready to kill me now because they're so uncomfortable with all this deep social stuff. So let's close it down and let's bring it all back up front. And you guys are so much better than 5th graders. I was told you guys are just like 5th graders at this level in college. So you guys did well. You brought it back down, even though hopefully you're deeply impassioned now. And over half of you weren't just talking about how I'm an idiot. Now, for some of you, this was uncomfortable. But remember, it's dangerous to go out on the internet because it's full of trolls, because anonymity makes you be willing to say anything. Well, guess what? You're anonymous here. Okay, most of you are occasionally going to notice sort of someone looks vaguely familiar as you walk around campus, but a lot of you are never going to see each other again. So you have that anonymity shield while you're here. No one's going to punch you in the face while we're here in the room. I hope. Dear God, I hope. Don't. I'm going to say right now, classroom rule, no punching in the face. But be willing to talk. Okay, so I'm not going to give you as long this time, even though now I've framed the question a little bit better, because now we're going to waste a little bit more time as a full group, and we're going to try to make, as a class, a concept of what testable is. Now, fight for your ideas. If the class consensus is pushing dramatically away from yours or doesn't include a key element of yours, chime in. Or force one of your other members to chime in. Tell someone to say something. I want something that all of us have incorporated our ideas into, or we've come up with a reason why that idea should not necessarily be included in there. Okay, so middle I have been picking on, so I'm going to choose you guys. Where was the group here? Or was this two groups? Were you 4 all together? 3 together? Okay, well I was sort of pointing at you two, so what's yours? We're going to start with that as our base.
Okay. We have decided that you have to develop a hypothesis or a question, and then to put the item you are testing through a test or experiment to prove whether it is true or not.
Okay, so you have to craft a question, you have to put it through a test, and see if true or not. Okay, so there's our base elements, and I guess I should be putting things up here so you guys can test against it. Okay, so are we totally comfortable with that? No refinements, or there's other elements? There we go. Okay. All right, good change? Bad change? Okay, I heard someone over here.
Take out true or not true, which is like you're getting an answer. It doesn't have to be true or not, because that's only giving you 2 definitive.
Sorry, I forgot to pull. Good change. Now that the teacher's done it, you're all going to say that? Oh my God, you're not. It's revolt. Bad change? Should I put the true false back? Oh, should be changed, but not the same way. Okay, what's?
I think it should be like
Support or not. So we're still polar?
Even if it's just adding another step, just observing or making observation.
Okay, totally different. Throw in as observation. Do we have more on the support or not support? Do we like that? Better than the get an answer? Or do we want to just change all of this to observe? And how many of you are trying to put together that 5-step scientific method thing because you think that's the right answer? Okay, good. Some of you admitted it. That's nice. Okay. Well, I am actually paying attention to the clock mildly. We've got 10 minutes left, which means we can't actually get to the point of putting this definition into order unless I do it right now. So we're going to take what we've got now, build a question, put it through an experiment. The one problem I'm going to go ahead and point out here, just in the sake of time, what experiment are you going to put it through? So in addition to building a question, maybe we have to build an experiment. And then we observe, get an answer, something along there. There should be a control. What does that mean? Like controller? So that's in the basic definition of testable, that there is a control in an experiment. Do we have agreement?
How can you do that if you're just testing if a ball bounces?
She didn't say that she's going to tell you what your control is. She just said there has to be one. So do we like that? Do we want to incorporate it? Do we hesitate to do so because you have no idea what's going on or because you have objections? And how many of you abstain because you're hoping that I'm giving the answer because it's time to leave? Or other reasons? Okay, so we're going to go through and number off. I was going to do all of this in just one class period, but it turns out I'm not so great at the pacing either. So you guys get homework first day. Awesome. And we're not going to hit the syllabus right away. We're going to come back to this. So each one of you, as we go through the class, is going to get something here to test. Now, it doesn't have to be with my ball. It just has to be with a ball. You don't have to actually do the test yourself, but that can maybe help you. But we said these are testable, which means there is testing that can be done to each one of these. So I'm going to have you guys tell me how to test these various things. So let's see. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And now we're going to go around the room, snake style, and just count to 16, start over at 1, and count again, and that's the one that you're assigned.
1, 2, 3, there we go. 10,
11,
13,
15,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12.
It's one of those, like, I'm going to
Okay, so make sure you see what you were supposed to do. I'm going to get a picture of this so that I remember what we actually had on the list, and I'm totally knowing what numbers each one of you have. Think about this. When we come in on Friday, those of you who slacked off on this, I'm going to totally make you ashamed of yourself because I'm going to talk about why it's so bad to have slacked off on it. But on Friday, we'll come back to this. I want to frame this as loosely as I can so that you just do something.
What exactly am I got rock? What exactly does that mean?
Test, rock, in terms of the ball.
What does that mean, though?
What one did you get?
That might give us issue with the definition. You have someone else you could talk with here.
Is there a class?
Say again?
Is there a book for this class? Because I didn't
No.
see
Go on to BB Learn. I've got the syllabus on there. The book is OpenStax Physics, which you can download online completely for free.
Okay, awesome.
I could have had the bookstore stock some, but I really want to encourage people not to bother buying a book because I don't know if I'm going to send you to it that much, which is the reason I don't want to use a super expensive full-on textbook because then I feel guilty about not using
There's
it.
like a link on Blackboard?
Yeah.
And I can download it for free?
Yes.
Awesome, thank you. That's all you need.
I have a question. Where did you get that t-shirt and where can I get one?
Think Geek, and they have tons of different science things. I'm going to try to wear a different science shirt every day that I teach.
That is awesome.
Hi. So I hear flipped classroom and I panic because my AP biology class was taught as a flipped classroom and it was the first CE I have ever taken. So how?
Okay, I have no idea what a flipped classroom really is.
Okay.
So I'm doing the thing that seems to be what people are talking about when they talk about it, but I can never get someone to pin down exactly what that is. And on Friday, I'm going to talk about what it means from me.
Okay. Perfect. I will decide whether or not.
And I think that most likely they didn't do it the same way that I'm doing
I think it
it.
was like the extreme definition of it. So
what did they do?
so pretty much we had like a set of iPads in the classroom and he had all of these YouTube videos that he'd made to explain all of the different concepts.
Yeah?
And so we would all like go at our own pace because you said like, so we'd do all this stuff outside the classroom. And he'd come in and he'd answer questions, but wasn't really, I don't learn when I'm not actually like watching someone lecture.
Yeah, he just didn't lecture.
Okay.
That wasn't actually a flipped classroom.
Okay.
If it was just you came in and you asked him questions, then yeah, that was utter and complete crap, and he was just trying to not work.
Okay.
He saw this thing and thought, oh, awesome, I don't have to do anything. And no.
Okay. Awesome.
That might be what the official definition is, but dear God, it's not mine.
Okay.
Just a quick question. So if we got like ground, would we be trying to tell you how you can test the ball?
You would be trying to figure out what you're trying to tell me. I'm going to tell you that we're trying to figure out what that means to be testable, and that was something that we agreed as a class to observe. And I think stars was incidental. It's just something that is, not something that changes. Yeah. So as a class, we agreed that ground is just something that it is, but we also agreed to something you can test for.
Okay, so, it's
So you have to
just
decide
testing, like, the
if you're going to go back and tell the class you guys are all idiots and I went along with you, or I voted against you and this is why.
Oh, okay.
So if you have problems,
Wait,
then
is
that
it
means you're
testable
pursuing.
like-
You have to decide. I will not give you an answer.
Mine it's kind of confusing. Mine it's made in China.
Right?
How? So you want me to